it's a geological formation down in southern Oregon. It's got a lot of serpentine soils, and they've got an element called uridium in the soils. And it's actually a pretty valuable mineral, but nothing grows there. It's sort of like there's a bunch of real rare wildflowers that show up there, but for timber and everything, the soils just don't support it. So right there where the Smokejumper Base was, it's a botanical wayside, really. And they had a botanist. He was a crew member, and he showed up, and he came up with this flower, this plant, that says the only other place that exists in the entire world is on the Gobi Desert in Asia. So somebody said, well, this is the Gobi here. And so that became the Gobi. And then, of course, the magic finger salute, that became what is known also as the Gobi. So that's the folklore behind the name of the Gobi. It's because of a plant. They've actually... the plant exists also inside the Kalmiopsis Wilderness, and in the forest literature there at the Siskiyou, they're quite proud of the fact that this plant only exists in the United States in the Kalmiopsis Wilderness Area. Kalmiopsis is the least used wilderness in the entire American wilderness system, and nobody goes in there, because it's mostly rattlesnakes and incredibly impenetrable brush. And, most of the smoke jumpers that come from all over to go jump, the most frightening place to jump was always Cave Junction. Well, yeah, because of some areas on the north slopes of a lot of the districts had big, tall trees, but in the majority of the area inside the Kalmiopsis was just brush. And once you parachuted into this brush and fought a fire in the brush, what that means is you have to pack out of there to be able to get to a trail. And it's unbelievable what people trying to carry a pack through this country have to go through. I can remember parachuting in and fighting a fire, and we were doing all right, but this district said, well, there's a health spot on the next ridge over. We'll drop a crew in, and then all they got to do is go down one drainage and up to your fire. And those people and that helicopter crew, they came to our fire in shreds. They were just rags, and they were absolutely unable to do any work on the fire. They were so exhausted just from going down one slope and up another to get to the fire. That's how bad it is. But that's the Kalmiopsis Wilderness. Nobody goes in there except on the very, very few trails that they open up. But the thing of it is, where you have water, the beautiful little streams coming out of the hillsides, they are classic. They have all these cobra plants and things, the Venus fly-looking things. The flies go in there, they can't get out. And then the beautiful Illinois River goes through this Kalmiopsis area. And that is the wildest river in the whole United States. I was a government hunter in New Zealand before I became a smoke jumper, and my friend that I hunted with would always come to America to go shoot a moose in Alaska or go elk hunting or something. But one time he came right on the time when Mount St. Helens blew. It was right that weekend. The whole Smokejumper Base stopped there and brought my friend from New Zealand on this trip down the Illinois River. Incredible river, and just the most beautiful river, and the most frightening as far as running some of these rapids. And of all things, it was me and Mouse were in this one leaking boat, and of course Mouse was exhausted because he was so occupied with protecting himself had helmets and all had air mattresses all around them and everything. And so Mouse was asleep in the boat, and the whole rest of the guys pull over and will look at this incredible stretch of river. And it's like, the more you look at this, the more dangerous it's going to grow in your mind, and you're just not going to ever do it. So I go back and I wake Mouse up, and I say, Mouse, okay. So I shoved the boat off, and he said, oh, you got her all checked out on troop? I go, oh yeah, Mouse, she's all checked out. And so all of a sudden he realizes this incredible roar. He stands up in the raft, and he looks and he sees all the jumpers just sort of standing outside their rafts looking at this thing, and all of a sudden and Mouse and I are going down, and there's no way to slow up or get back. And he just says, tell my mother I love her. And we went down, and oh man. So then most of the guys wouldn't go down this rapids. But anyway, when Mouse died, he died in a parachuting accident up in North Pole, and that was after our first Alaskan fire season. I had 11 fire jumps with him on that, and they were just my treasured fire jumps. And basically, we had him cremated up in Alaska, and we got the ashes down. We had a ceremony at the Smokejumper Base. And we played John Denver's Country Roads, and then we basically had a guy on the intercom that said, we have a one-man request with the Kalmiopsis, and then we had a Forest Service pilot take off and dump Mouse's ashes over the green wall in the Kalmiopsis. So anyway, that's some of the stories about our life there in the Kalmiopsis. But it was, to me, the Kalmiopsis is really a jewel. I mean, it's really something. I love it in there. But everywhere you go, you love the country, you know. And that's one of the other things about smoke jumping is, where do you go? You go to the absolute greatest wilderness places on the planet. I've been all over the world. I've been all over Russia, all over China, all over Vietnam, all through Central America, South America. It doesn't matter. The best of what we got that's wild is in America and Canada. I have to admit that we jumped all over Canada too, and but I almost figure we're the same country. We get along so well. But yeah, a lot of jumps in Canada, up along, especially in the Yukon. And we have more in common. You know, if you're Alaskan, you have much more in common with the Yukon people than you ever have to do with the lower 48 people. In other words, if you were to grow up just being an Alaskan firefighter, and they sent you down to the lower 48, you'd say, what in the heck is this place? This has got nothing to do with fire as we know it, you know.